Well, welcome back from that break. This is the segment where we are being joined by a guest to analyze some of these headlines that made it to our national dailies. And of course, joining us this morning is Ogunleke Samuel, who is a political analyst and a journalist and also an economist. Everything. He's a wonderful person, and we are so glad to have him join us in the studio this morning. Hi, good morning, welcome, Samuel.
Good morning.
Let me call you by the one I know, Dokinta.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Sincere to have you. It's a pleasure to have you. But let me start by asking. But before we move on, this is a reminder that our phone lines are now open for you to call in to give in your contribution as a question. But let me also remind you that I know a lot of you have so much to say. I understand what it is in this phase of time for Nigerians. But please, when you call, you have just 60 seconds to enable other people join the conversation. Let me start by asking. I don't even need to go through the headline. What is going on? How is it with all this fuel, kike, and the rest of it?
Well, I actually want to start by thanking Nigerians for their patience. Yeah. And with this adage that patience dog,
it's the fattest bone.
But in this case, I want to let Nigeria know that no matter how your patience, there is not even bone. Not to talk of the one that is fat.
Oh, really?
Currently, I proposed something earlier before the inception of this administration, and I said something. I said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's regime is going to be a regime that everybody will be thinking, and I know.
Oh, no, you made this emphasis before?
Yes, even on this channel, not because of anything. It is not that Bola Tinubu is not good. It is not that he has not ruled before. It is not that other contestants, other candidates are better,
competent,
are better. But the fact is, I said it and I'll continue saying it, that if you are a business personnel and you have business overseas coming down to this country and you want to rule this country, it is not possible for you to rule better. Because
why did you say so? I want to understand why.
Yeah, thank you very much. There are people that you want to step on their toes. While you are stepping on toes, it will get to a particular stage that they will hook you because you have a business too.
Exactly.
They want you to make law favorable, not to you, to them.
Exactly.
If you are making any law, if you are actually making any law that is against them, then be ready for them to make laws that were against your company.
So what you are saying now, are you referring to the issue of cabals?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm actually saying. You see, Tinubu's administration is being ruled, or they're actually ruling as if they own the country and they can do and undo. Nobody should tell me that Tinubu is now is actually on the good track. As it is now. But
let me add something. I have had several people, guests here, talk about this administration, and some persons has come out to say that 1 year isn't enough for 1 year isn't enough to assess.
To assess,
yes.
But 1 year is enough to praise him, right? If 1 year is not enough to assess a particular government, then 1 year is not enough to praise that same government.
I think what people were trying to say, 1 year is not enough, is a matter of giving them time. And then when you give people time, you know, that time, you don't just give somebody time and then the person falls hand and is not doing anything. People had decided to give time, but 1 year is gone.
See, let me just tell you. I have a Yoruba, birth, broad, and whatsoever you can actually talk about in Yoruba land. But the fact still remains that go and check the history of people that have ruled in this country. You will see that Tinubu's administration, as in the decisions, the policies, it has policies, but they are not actually backing the policies with actions. The decisions, the policies, the actions had actually shown that at this point in time, we are actually moving back to 1963.
As an economist, let me there is this question that is in my mind to ask. Okay, people have said that this mess we are into, the situation we are into, is what the former President Muhammad Buhari puts Nigeria into. And now, as an economist, let me ask you: do you think Mr. President is actually being sincere, the policies and the steps he's taking, being the fact that the economy is already bleeding or was already bleeding before he came into office, do you think there's a headway?
The issue is this. As an economist, let me first of all come as a Nigerian. Tinubu has been lying to Nigerians since the inception of this administration.
How?
First day, he said subsidy is gone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And don't forget, as an economist, you follow the trend of what is happening in markets, right?
Exactly.
Now, NNPC then said that they were incurring debt because of subsidy, because they were paying subsidy, right? But after the removal of subsidy, this man came and said subsidy is gone. Everybody were like, oh yes, we like the fact that subsidy is gone. But just last week, the same administration that claimed, don't forget that,
Exactly.
don't forget that Atiku Abubakar, former vice president, had been actually crying, wailing that this administration is paying subsidy indirectly.
Exactly, I heard that today.
Are you getting it? And they said no. They claimed that Atiku was just being politicizing, he's just politicizing. But now, the same NNPCL came out to say that, okay, they are in debt of $6.6 million to market.
Exactly, from where? Exactly. Good.
You are the sole importer of petrol. Tinubu administration that said subsidy is gone is now telling us that the landing cost, NNPCL, because he's actually the Minister of Petroleum, the landing cost is actually higher than the price they are selling per liter. Who is paying the remaining one, the gap? Who is actually filling the gap?
Exactly.
That means government is still paying subsidy indirectly. Who are those people collecting this subsidy? That's the first lie of Tinubu's government.
Okay.
That's the first one. The second one, you said you float naira, right? You float naira, but now the same naira that you have floated is actually having a backup from the same government that floated naira. That's number two. Number three, you promise that, okay, fine, you are going to make agricultural sector the next sector to petroleum, right?
Exactly.
Where's the agricultural sector now?
And
we've actually pumped over 350 billion naira into that sector. Are you getting it? Now, to revamp agricultural sector. Now, nothing is yet to be shown for the result. Now, the issue is this: if Tinubu really wants Nigeria to go or to grow, function better, well equipped, that we can actually be bold of, okay, I'm a Nigerian, because obviously now none of us, I don't know people that are actually eating with government anyway, but like myself, I cannot be proud of being a Nigerian again. Because things our imagination was, okay, fine, when he comes, as a well-learned when it comes to economy, he will be able to revamp our economy so that we'll be exporting. But go and check imports and exports since the inception of this administration. You will see that we are in doom. We are doomed. We are in mess.
But let's look at it this way, because when Tinubu first came, the first 3-4 months, some people were beginning to be appreciative, even when they still even when they still had issues at the court level. Some Nigerians were of the opinion that with the way he was working, they should let him be, because he actually tried to the policies then.
Yes, he came with the, I actually mentioned policies now.
What went wrong?
What went wrong was
apologies for, let me hold you there. Let's quickly take this call up before you continue with you answer that particular question. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Glad to have you join us on the press. Your name and where you're calling us from. You have just 60 seconds.
Thank you very much. My name is Abdulashim. I'm calling from Zamfara.
All right, please go ahead with your thoughts. And kindly turn down the volume of your TV set so we could hear you clearly.
Yeah, your speaker there is you see, Zamfara, in terms of in Nigeria today, in terms of agriculture, the way the President Tinubu said he's going to grow agriculture, making petroleum, agriculture the second part of petroleum.
Yes.
Let me tell you the truth about agriculture. It is the northwest here. Now you can just do away with insecurity in the northwest. Believe me, the northwest can feed the whole country.
Okay.
You see, there is no wasting money, spending money on this, on that. Let me tell you, in the Northwest, you have men here in North that can farm 200 bag of rice, 200, 300, in fact, without any support from government. Without any support from government. Those men today, they are the people running around. Come to Zamfara now, you see people on the street. When you ask them, they will tell you they can farm 200 bags, but today, they cannot even go to farm. Talk more of getting one tier of rice or anything. The government should just focus on insecurity and be serious about it. Wipe these boys, wipe everything, clear everything. You understand? Let the North or let Nigeria be safe from all these banditry and other things. You see, we can feed ourselves. I keep telling people, Nigerians can feed themselves. We are not lazy. When you allow us to go to farm and farm, we will feed ourselves and everything will be fine. And every other thing they want to do, they should do it. We don't care as long as we can feed ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and have yourself a wonderful day ahead. Dr. Before you take that call, I used to say something. I was talking to some guests, and I say, a lot of Nigerians are not asking for too much. Not everybody wants to drive Lamborghini. Not everybody wants to drive Benz. Some Nigerians just want to be able to feed at least.
Even if it is twice in a day. Even if it is twice in a day. Now, let me just, what went wrong was the fact that if you have a good policy and there is no action to back the policy, then you have nothing. It is just like you having a good clothes, but you are not healthy to wear the clothes. Are you getting it?
It becomes useless.
It becomes useless. It's just like you having money, but you are not even having the appetite to eat.
Exactly.
You have food. You are not even having appetite. So first thing you need to do is to take care of yourself. Get yourself a better doctor.
Treatment, yes.
Treat yourself. Then, even if I thought you are having just 1 penny or a cup of gari, it will be better for you because you have peace of mind. The appetite, everything.
And you're healthy.
Now, the issue is why you are bringing policies, no plan to execute the policy. You just feel like, okay, these policies can work, and Tinubu is making one mistake. The mistake is the fact that you are increasing tax when there is no money in the circulation. I do tell people, what is happening now is not inflation.
Okay, what is it exactly?
This is not, inflation is when there is too much money in the circulation.
Exactly.
And too much money is chasing viewer goods.
But as it stands, money is scarce.
There is no money in the circulation, and there is persistent increase in price of goods and services. That is stagflation in economics. It is not inflation. It is stagflation. We are actually in a situation whereby if recession comes in now, for us to come out of that recession will take us years. Because what we are having now is the fact that our caller just said insecurity. Exactly. We are actually coming there.
That's another.
We are actually coming there. But let's talk about this petroleum. Who is the Minister of Petroleum?
The Mr. President, of course, and I will come back to that after hearing from this particular caller. Good morning.
Good morning to you there.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us on the press. All right, please go ahead, and you have just 60 seconds.
I want to say a very good welcome for the job you guys are doing on television.
Thank you very much.
This is the problem that I see for real in this country. It is not actually the increment of prices on the food and other things that is in Nigeria today. But the problem is farming. The government loses the very moment they shift their attention on food production.
Okay.
The moment a country cannot survive to feed the citizens, then you discover that at the end of everything, problem will arise. The second of it, the houses we are having, the National Assembly today, the very work they are doing is not reflecting even in their local area. Why are they there? I want to employ the federal government to try as much as possible to do something about agriculture to make sure that food are enough for people to eat. The increment of salary today cannot even feed a single soul, not to talk of a family. So failure to stand on this, to work on this, will bring a very mighty crisis, not just a crisis. The problem that the federal government, even even international will come to intervene very soon. It's a warning for the country, for the federal government to try as much as possible to make sure that they satisfy the less privileged. Because if the less privileged will stand against the federal government, it won't be easy for them to cope them.
All right.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for your contribution, and have yourself a great day. Doctor,
So, yeah.
say what I'm listening.
Now, there hasn't been any action, any plan at all. Now, the issue is this. We are not going to talk about the problem without solution.
Exactly.
Yes, I am going to give a lot of stories because I'm an economist, so I cannot just analyze the problem without giving the solution. So if I'm actually analyzing the problem without giving my own solution, then that means I am actually ranting.
Exactly.
Now, before the solution, let's be sincere to ourselves. People are talking about agriculture. I just said import is actually higher than export.
Okay.
That is why we have deficit in the balance of trade.
Okay.
And the word balance of trade, when the trade is not balanced, it is actually better when you have surplus than you having deficit. Now, when the import is greater than the export, then your naira, your currency will start losing value.
Exactly.
And when your currency is losing value, people don't know that what is increasing salary is never the next step at all. This government is just parabolating, making a lot of errors, taking a lot of steps. Why are you increasing salary? If you increase salary and price of fuel and increases,
just like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yes, and the issue is we are not coming to a situation of Zimbabwe.
No, but
do you know Zimbabwe?
Yes.
You know what happened to them?
Yeah.
We are going to be printing higher naira soon.
No, but I think apart from NLC coming to that salary increment, it's a norm. Sort of norm.
Salary increment is a norm.
It's 5 years.
Yes, salary increment is a norm, but that is not the next thing on our agenda. The next thing on our agenda is to make sure that we stabilize the economy before we increase. Okay, fine. Let me ask you.
It's a law.
You put 70,000 as minimum wage, right?
Exactly.
Even the 30,000 minimum wage, some states are still not paying it.
They're not.
Do you know that?
Yes,
that's not the first thing. No. Now you are not putting state that cannot afford to pay 30,000. You want that state to pay 70,000. So now, if federal government workers are now collecting 70,000 as minimum wage, that is the low level. What happened to state workers? What happened to you that are working in the private sector?
No, but the fact is, it's not as if the states cannot pay.
There are states that cannot pay.
No, I don't think. See, there is no state in Nigeria that does not have its own
IGR,
natural resources, that its own way of generating money.
But do you know that every natural resources in this country is on exclusive list? It is for federal government.
You will tell us more about that after hearing from the scholar. Oh, we lost that score.
So is on exclusive list.
No.
That means you can, as a state, you don't have power. It is not
your natural
over your natural resources.
But the fact is, most of these resources are yet to be tapped.
That is where we are getting it. Okay, fine. We have bitumen in Ondo State.
All right.
Second largest in Africa.
Let's hear from the scholar before we get back to that. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Glad to have you join us on the press. Your name and where you're calling us from, and you have just 60 seconds.
I'm Steven, calling from Delta State.
Stephen from Delta State, please go ahead.
The first subsidy removal. I noticed the first subsidy removal, federal government did that to maybe get something. Now the first subsidy removal, the money, the government realized on the first subsidy removal. What is the government doing with it?
Okay.
That money, where is the money going to? If it is possible, I want you to send this message across to the federal government. Where is the money going to? That's the problem we are having in this country. Because the federal government said it will repair the refinery with that money. Now, that refinery has not been repaired for a very long time. I'm sure it's 1 year plus now. That refinery has not been repaired. So where is the federal government doing with that money? The first subsidy removal. All
right.
I want you to send that message across to the federal government.
Of course, it's getting to them already.
What is done with that money? It's very cost. The federal government is cost. Bola Tinubu is cost. It's a cost president of president.
Please mind kindly mind your words. You are national TV.
That's his own opinion, not ours.
All right. Your thoughts are kindly noted. Thank you very much, and have yourself a wonderful day ahead. I knew it. People are angry, but
that's his own opinion, not ours.
Doctor, you were saying something about.
Yeah, I was actually saying something, but I actually need to let the caller know that the money accrued from subsidy removal has always been in this country, and it's continuing to be in this country. States allocation had been tripled. Where do they get the money?
That's another thing I wanted
That's from the first subsidy removal.
Yes.
So if you say that, if anybody is saying that, where is the first subsidy removals revenue is going to, go and ask your governors.
But do you know, I asked you a question and then you said most of those states cannot actually, because you actually said they cannot, some of the states actually cannot pay. Now you have equally said their allocation has been tripled.
Yes, as allocation is being tripled.
So they have the money to pay.
You actually, as an economist, I will actually tell you that there are states that will not be able to pay it.
Except they are not with.
They are
actually states.
Let me tell you, the issue is even if
you were collecting, how many workers do we have? For instance, if your monthly revenue was 100 billion naira and now you have 300 billion naira. I mean, why can't
Yes, it is being tripled, right?
Yes.
But the fact is, do you know that they cannot actually spend on recurrent expenditure alone? If they actually spend on recurrent expenditure, which is salaries and all these ones, you will not have a single capital project. And if you want to do any capital project now, as the allocation is being tripled, so are the fees attached to each capital project in this country. Now, let me just there is a particular company that we use in this country that they are actually politicized. I will actually say that is Julius Berger.
Julius Berger, yes.
It has been politicized.
Just hold it there. Let's quickly hear from this caller because we are going to talk a bit about the security. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Glad to have you join us on the press. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you so much. I'm calling from Niger State. Sir.
Okay, please go ahead with your thoughts.
My name is Ibuote Ladan.
All right.
My sister, in fact, the speaker you have there in your midst is saying the right thing. Most especially about the issue of increment of salary to my own side. You see, the other time we were collecting 30,000 naira. Why our food was only, we normally what is maize, corn, and other things at the rate of 30, 35. They are not saying now the increment, we did not increase the salary increase. We have now salary increase at about 70,000 naira.
Yes. Which has not been implemented.
70,000 naira now. You cannot buy a bag of that unicorn or maize again. What is the essence of that increment? What do we have there? What is Nigeria doing?
Exactly.
Please, to our own side, we need to understand where we are going. Nigeria is suffering from all these type of things. We are not happy about what's going on. We don't want where Nigeria will turn down with bad people.
All right.
Please, we want the government should do something about it.
All right.
Criminal or other things. Like now in Niger State, we have problem of that kind of thing. Where we are farming, we don't have problem with bandit. That is our own side. But we have problem with our military officers. Where we are farming, the militaries are saying we shouldn't go there because they were afraid of bandits coming to them. So the same problem is coming within ourselves.
All right.
So we what government should do about should do something about it.
All right.
We are suffering too much. Thank you very much.
Your thoughts are kindly noted. Thank you very much, and have yourself a wonderful day ahead. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're glad to have you join us this morning on the press. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Mazu Okara from Aroshi.
Mazu Okara, thank you for joining again. Please go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes. Honestly, I'm just an appeal to the Nigerian government. This issue of fuel increment. If the case that this should be monitored the program outside Nigeria, you see that Ghana has the same problem. What do? They have to reduce their price 3 times between
November 2020 to 2024 now. They have reduced their price. Price decrease. It's what they will change that they have decreased. The government has won. So I will advise Nigerian government, policymakers, to borrow a bit from Ghana. Bring that back. And if you try as much as possible, all those Niger data boys that the police, the Navy, and this is trying to go to gather points. That's what they do in this. They gather those points. Let them try to refine our audit. In their own, that is this modular refiner. It will help us. Instead of depending the very honest, that's also for us because people are suffering. Transportation and food consumption. That's what I'm taking everything. Good morning.
Mazio Karafo, enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for calling. Hello?
Good morning.
Glad to have you join us. Your name and where you're calling us from?
It's my pleasure. I am Mark. I'm calling from Bauchi.
Mark from Bauchi, please go ahead with your thoughts.
I just want to say congratulations to this, our wonderful, vibrant Mr. Samuel over there. Honestly, may God bless you and may the Lord give you more knowledge. Amen. You have been speaking all this while and we have been listening. Actually, you are just hitting the nail on the head. Exactly. But the point is, if we should reflect back during the campaign of this administration, the President said he is going to, I could remember there's a program held in London, in UK or London. He said it actually that he's going to work with technocrats. Could it be that those people he fixed over there in his cabinet, are they the types of technocrats he's talking about? We can point some of all these ministers that they are ex-governors. What do they go back to their track records in their state? What do they do to the state? Rather leaving the state in the deadlock, mess, and he now bring them back. And some people are saying that in the whole history of this country, from the democratic inception, Tinubu is the only person that single-handedly sponsor his campaign or whatever. Okay, is he trying to tell us that until he said to himself before he will start thinking about Nigeria? Because the level we are now, we that we are eating in the north is a little bit manageable compared to people that are from south and southwest and the rest. And these are the places that you will say, no matter how it is, business is still moving there. But now, them too, they are crying more than we that we are already in the dry land here. Honestly speaking, if those that are on that cabinet, this forum, if they are hearing what you people are saying, and they fail not to do something, and if Mr. President at all, he really have this contract at hand. Because I could remember from his beginning of his administration as a governor in Lagos to when he finished, I was in Lagos. Actually, I did my secondary school, I finished in
Alright, kindly round up your thoughts so we could move on.
The truth of the matter is that if what is being said here is what Nigeria needed and is part of those things that we can talk as an administrator, we are not doing anything rather than to see that the masses just go to hell and then they should enjoy. But let them not forget, we are getting, the thing is almost getting to our nerves. By the time everybody rise up, they may not be able to sit there. And they are now the ones frustrating our law enforcement agencies. It's not as if our law enforcement agencies cannot handle all this shit. What happened in Libya and Liberia and the rest, when our military party, they were the ones that sent to that place, they were able to curtail some challenges about, but what is it that in our own country?
Please, I'll have to let you go. We have other callers to attend to. Thank you very much, and your thoughts are noted. Thank you very much. Doctor, round up with the last question you were asked. Let's talk about the state police.
Yeah, now the issue is now this. On the issue of actions, you see that Tinubu is very slow. Just
so this caller said the people, the cabinet, and that reminds me of what
National Executive Council.
That reminds me of what Senator, the one from Borno State, what's his name again? I'm trying to remember. Senator, is he the one representing Borno South? That said that was the chief whip that was suspended.
Okay, that was suspended.
Okay. Exactly, okay. Senator Ningi. No, it's not Ningi. Ndume. He referred to the cabinet of Mr. President as kleptocrat. What was that? Kleptocrat. Are you trying to say that he's correct?
No, the only thing is, it's not the cabinet, the National Assembly, the governors, and even the National Executive Council.
Okay.
They are all liars. I will not actually refer to them as kleptocrats. No. They are all liars. Because if president is not working, what is exactly the work of the governors? If the president is not working, what are the ministers doing? If the president is not working, what are the service chiefs that ought to man security doing? If the president is not working, see, let me tell you something. This thing, they're actually running cabal, not government.
No, but
Tinubu is running cabal, is running family affairs, not government.
But the way it is, when Tinubu came, like I said earlier, he came with he had a lofty beginning.
It's not about what, sorry to cut you, but it's not about what he came, it's about the reality that is being
but it is better to hand it well.
No, I am coming to that. Probably he cannot be everywhere, like what that caller just said. I think he made a very valid point. He should look into his cabinet
and see,
because Tinubu cannot be everywhere.
If Tinubu cannot be everywhere, I've actually
have a cabinet member who is not doing well.
I had this mind. I had this same mind. But the issue is who appointed the cabinet?
Him, of course.
If you know that someone is not capable,
he should change.
Why should you appoint Olamide to be your MC if you know that I'm not capable? Why should you appoint me as your analyst, as your advisor, when you know that I'm a colossal failure? So everyone in the cabinet were being appointed by Mr. President. So if Mr. President cannot even
and he still has the power to remove and
remove them. So if Mr. President cannot even understand, cannot even know, cannot even ascertain the characteristics of those is actually appointed, then we should refer to him as something else. So for me, I think now let's bring a solution before we move to police. First thing is this. First thing is Mr. President Tinubu should stop NNPCL from bastardizing, dehumanizing Nigerians. That's the first thing. How will he do that? It is Mele Kyari, remove him.
Exactly. Someone said, I wouldn't say, but I had a guest who said about this yesterday.
Quarters.
Remove him. He's incompetent. He's incompetent. So remove him. And when you are putting another person there, make sure the person you are putting there is actually not someone that is actually in that cabal. Else, it will continue the legacy of Mele Kyari. That's number one. Then number two, what is holding Port Harcourt refineries back? If there is, give them ultimatum of 14 days. Believe me sincerely, if you actually threaten them to sack all of them. See, we have people that are that are petrochemical in nature, not even by studying alone. They know these things. And Tinubu knows them. So threat to sack all of them if they cannot do it in 14 days. Then you will see that we'll have our Port Harcourt refineries back running.
Our people understand.
That's the language. That's number two, right?
Yes.
Now, another thing is stop giving us food. Stop sharing food. Sharing of food cannot help us.
Fish. Don't give us fish.
Make sure insecurity in northwest, in southwest, in north, in core north is stopped. Else, how will you do that? Imagine, I think Minister of Defense just said that all the service chiefs should move to Sokoto, right?
Yes.
Now, even if they move to Sokoto, they are living in Sokoto. Don't forget that all they need as defense, as security are there. All you need to do is let them lead. They are the service chiefs, right? They are the head. While I was the head of department, head of a channel, I was the one leading. I was the one working day and night. People can actually testify. Mercy can testify to it. I was working day and night. Even when my colleagues, that are supposed to be my junior staff, would not have enough time to do anything. I'll still feel because I'll do that because now
even by example.
Even by example, let the service chiefs, if truly they have served, they have the experience, let them lead
the way.
Let's move to this police because I know very well it is very clear that we can't address food insecurity if insecurity is not being addressed. And now this headline says NEC gives FCT Kwara 3 others monthly deadline on state police. What do you think this state police would? Do you think it will enhance security?
You see, state police is of two sides of coin. Number one, we need them. Yes, we need them. But obviously, you know, state police is not the next. What about Amotekun? What about this one in North? We have one security, internal security agencies in North too, like that of Amotekun in Southwest. What are they doing? Why are you not incorporating them? Why creating? Don't forget that when you are creating state police, you are creating police for the governors.
Okay.
That's one thing. State police is good, but we have internal security system already.
But do you think it will improve the insecurity we are being faced with?
Even the one that we are having now, we are having enough police. Oh, they will just imagine insecurity. Imagine they are robbing here, and one politician is having 10 police officers manning him.
Exactly.
So don't tell me it is the issue of state police. Yes, it will actually enhance, but that is not the issue we are facing now. The issue we are facing is police system is actually corrupted.
No, but if you look at this way, like you said, state police will actually go a long way in enhancing our
security system, but that is not the next thing.
And then you also said that the only issue there is that of them being used as foot soldiers by the governors. But fine, if you look at, you know, in life, I've always believed that in everything, things must definitely have advantages and disadvantages. But in this scenario, don't you think it's appropriate for us to weigh both? If the advantages is more, why is it
the
why
first disadvantage, the disadvantages of state policing? The first disadvantage of state policing, and that will not even that will actually stop us in the from the start is payment.
Okay.
States that cannot afford to pay 70,000 minimum wage for the number of workers that we have in their state now want to add.
But what are the governors doing with their
gentlemen and women? But let's quickly hear from this last caller before we sign out. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Andrew. I'm from Lagos.
Andrew, please, you have just 60 seconds. We're out of time. Kindly go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay. Why I not surprised for the Tinubu government is since when you start to campaign, each time they go in for town hall debates, Tinubu never attend half to talk of one.
That's not the problem.
So someone like that, can you expect that type of person to perform well? It's not possible. You just go there to withdraw, not go there to do anything for masses.
All right.
People are suffering, don't even care. Then, see, what I'm thinking, they should hold this country tight. They should know what to do now. If not, when you pursue snake, they watch you, because that snake will later set you back. That is what is coming on. They will not understand now.
All right.
This will turn against them. They will surprise.
All right.
Right?
Thank you very much, and have yourself a wonderful day. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, you have just 60 seconds. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Emmanuel from Benue State.
Emmanuel from Benue State. Please, let's hear you.
I want to sell. Hello.
I can hear you clearly. Please go ahead.
I am very happy for what people are saying. From the initial stage, during the campaign of this administration, our Tinubu, our president, said that immediately he will finish with this insecurity in Nigeria. But he does nothing. Let us not talk of fuel. Let's talk of insecurity. Because without fuel, but we can feed ourselves.
All right.
But nobody is farming. If fuel is naira per liter. But if you are not farming, how can we feed ourselves?
Exactly.
No, there is no way.
All right.
Then let's talk of insecurity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and have yourself a wonderful day ahead. I am so sorry, this is the least we can take. And Dr. Olamide, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
we
you
are
very much.
actually out of time, and I think we could continue this conversation until, but time is no longer on our side. But trust me, you're definitely coming back.
I'm always
on this.
Yeah,
you're definitely coming back to talk to us. You're definitely coming back.
Well, the only thing I would say
this
these days, well, anyway, thank you very much. I know APC supporters and Tinubu supporters will not agree with me on this, but I want to let everybody, every Nigerian knows that APC, which is a party of Tinubu, had let Nigerians down since their inception.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And this is where we draw the curtain for today's episode on the press. Let me quickly add to what Dr. Olamide had just said. The government, democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Well, so far, we don't know what we are experiencing, but let me also encourage the government to do that which is needed. People voted you in to look out for them and not to turn out against them. Until we come away some other time, and like I said before the beginning of the show, you will always see Ekaete often on the press from today. She would get to be your host. And until we come your way some other time, I remember Messi Emelite. Thank you for staying with us, and do have yourself a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you so much for watching us. See you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.